Good afternoon, morning, or night, whatever time, place you're in. Welcome back to Duty's Daggers. We have a review of this big boy, the Demko AD20. The big boy, the American-made Demko AD20. Super badass knife. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Look down there, make sure that you are. And follow me on Instagram too, Duties_Daggers. So I've owned this knife for a little while now. Had a chance to carry it quite a bit, and I'm ready to give you my full thoughts on it. So let's do it. First, we gotta measure this thing though. It's big, and we'll do a size comparison with the 80-20.5 here in a second. We got a 3.5-inch blade, a little over 3.5 inches actually. Just under a 5-inch handle, and that means we are like, what is that, like almost a little less than 8.5 inches overall. Thick, almost a 1/2 inch thick at the thickest point right here. That is thick. That is thick, baby. Size comparisons, here's the 20.5. Sheep's foot, I know, different blade shape, but you get the idea. Check out the thickness differences too. Oh boy. Yeah. That was the thing that surprised me the most when I finally got to handle one of these, is the thickness difference, because it is massive. A couple more size comparisons. Let's get out the Spyderco Native 5. The Shaman. Pretty close to Shaman size. Actually, the Shaman's slightly shorter, but gets a good comparison there. Let's do the CJRB Pyrite. Let's do the Cubit. Let's do the Elementum. Everyone's got one of those, right? And why not we do the Sebenza, the large Sebenza. 31. And how about a Hinderer XM18? 3.5 inch. There you go, folks. Now, let's measure what we're looking at as far as blade stock thickness and thickness behind the edge. One quick thing to note is this is the first time they've done a full flat grind on these guys. It was not a full flat grind before, and I think this is the first batch that they did a full flat. And I'm happy about that, because this thing slices. It's a big knife, but it is surprisingly thin behind the edge. Check this out. We are looking at hang on here. 17 thousandths behind the edge. Actually, it's 15 up there. What? No way. 15? No, it's like between 16 and 17 thousandths behind the edge. That is completely unexpected for a knife this big. Really awesome, man. That was, aside from the thickness, I'd say the thing I was most surprised about was how slicey it was. I was expecting it to be this, big bruiser work knife, and it is, but it can slice also. So that was a really kind of cool surprise. So let's talk about the construction really quick here. We got G10 scales that are textured with their texture that they always use. Looks excellent, feels excellent. We got Demko knives on the pivot, wampum PA there on the other side. Same as the titanium 20.5s. Says wampum PA on these, even though they are made in Taiwan. I don't know why they did that. Kind of weird, right? I mean, it's not like they're trying to trick you, because it literally says Taiwan right above it. It's just, I don't know. People were screaming for these big pivots on the 20.5s, and I guess they just decided to use the same ones or whatever. I don't know. We have big, huge T8 hardware all the way around. I love these things. In fact, let me bust one out for you real quick, just to show you how big and beefy these screws are. I love them. That's a big, beefy screw. I don't know if you could tell from video, but that's a big boy. That's a very big boy. It's just cool, you know. They probably could get away with smaller hardware, but it adds to the whole feeling of like it being super rugged and heavy duty and indestructible. These 3 pins right here are part of the locking mechanism. Well, actually, the top one's the pin. These 2 are holding this locking mechanism in place. Huge spacers right in here, 3 of them. This is a 3V blade with an epic stonewash on it. Really love that stonewash. The blade steel is denoted right in there, which is kind of cool. I like that. Kind of hidden, keep the blade nice and clean. No thumb studs, just a deployment slot. And I guess you'd call this a clip point or a straight clip. I don't really know. But it's kind of like a drop point too. You know, you can definitely get away with doing some utility cutting with this guy. I love how they do the jimping. It's almost like they put an extra jimp in between the jimps. Right there. It just looks awesome. And it's nice and traction-y. You have smaller, more fine, grippy jimping on the Shark Lock bar there. What else? This is an aftermarket clip. The clip that comes with it is just the typical Demko clip. I'm not going to dig it out right now, but you guys probably know what it looks like. I just preferred a deep carry clip, and actually I think this one might help with the ergos a little bit because it actually puts this thicker part of the clip back behind your hand. I'm not even touching it with my, medium-ish, largish hands. It's back there, and choked up. I'm almost not even on it. But whatever. The original clip was plenty comfortable as well. So that's kind of the construction of it. Let's talk about ergos first, since we're already kind of talking about it. Since this is such a wide knife, it feels like your hand's super nice. It feels like there's nothing that could rip this out of my hands. I'm just, there's no way. There's, I guess it's not a super pronounced groove where you're going to put your finger, but you're definitely not going back here. So, that is where your finger's going. I don't feel like it's forcing me there. That's just where it naturally wants to be. I really like how this kind of comes down right here and locks your hand in this way as well. It almost makes me feel like it's like a gladiator sword. You guys know what I mean? I don't even know what it's called exactly, like a gladius, I think maybe. But they have like these kind of large bolstery kind of guards on the top and bottom, and it's always just kind of a cool look. And that's how this kind of makes me feel. And, aside from that, also being really locked in feeling. The choke-up spot is a typical, AD20, AD20.5 choke-up spot. Actually, same thing on the AD15 as well. That's just how Demko likes to do his choke-up spots. And I like it too, because it's nice. It's kind of like you're resting on a little shelf, and it feels really good. It just feels really nice. I like it a lot. So yeah, that's about the ergonomics. Some people think that this might be a hindrance to ergonomics, but there's no way. You're back behind it, choked back and choked up. It just, I don't feel it. It's honestly still back. It's like right in here. I just don't feel it at all. So that's about it on ergos. Action, unbelievably good. Everyone loves the sound of the of Demko 8020s, 20.5s, any Shark Lock, and if you thought the 20.5 was fidgety and sounded good, wait till you try an 8020 because it honestly sounds even better and is even more fidgety. It's crazy. There's a way more like substantial thwack, like huge clunky clack as that lock bar slams up in there. It's loud. And if you hold this back and let the blade, swing and hit while you're still holding it back, it makes a ting sound. I don't know if it's going to come through for you guys or not, but it's an absolutely a ting, and I love that so much. It's just, it makes the best knife sounds in the history of knives. I love clicky clacky metal things. Anything that's metally and clicky and clacky I love, and this is the epitome of that. It's just awesome. Let's talk about the shark lock here. So the surface area of the lock itself obviously is bigger on the 20.5. So it feels a little more ergonomic on your finger, honestly. It's just, there's more surface area here. And I never thought that this was uncomfortable on the 20.5, but after feeling this one, you know, this groove here that they put in there to make room for your fingertip is larger. And it's just a more large, comfortable area to get in there and pull down. Really comfy, totally comfy. Gosh, what else? I will say this. I'm still a big fan of the shark's foot blade. If I could have this in a shark's foot, I would do that. I would probably trade this for the same thing but with a shark's foot blade. I just like it a little better. It's a great blade shape because it's got a little belly. It's not like a super strict sheep's foot. I don't know if that's the right word, but I don't know. But at the same time, this does slice so good, and like I said, the tip's low enough where it's not really much of a problem to do a few utility cuts. And if I really needed to do a lot of utility cuts, you know, that's why I carry two knives. If I'm carrying this, I'm carrying something like the hedgehog, where I can do utility cuts all day with this. So it's really not a huge deal. It's just kind of little, you know, if I could choose, I would choose shark's foot. Do I have any real, like, issues with it? I really don't. You know, the sharpening choil is small. You know, but they did, you know, it is actually enough to get that away from the plunge grind, because the plunge grind is such a tight little radius in there. It's not like it's not gradually getting thicker. It's just nice and tight. You know, I don't know. If it was bigger, would it look weird? Maybe. I think it probably would look a little odd, so I get why they made it small. You can always enlarge that because there's nothing happening on the inside where this needs to stay the same. You can make that bigger if you'd like. Yeah, I mean, you know, these are a hot commodity. These on the aftermarket go for much more than you pay retail, and I'm just happy to have scored one. You know, they go really fast, and you know, OG Goat sells titanium textured scales for these that look really nice. I still haven't really decided if that's the route that I want to go. I mean, you know, a titanium AD20 is everyone's dream, right? I mean, not everybody, a lot of people. Those are the most highly sought after AD20s. But at the same time, I don't want to feel like I'm going to baby the thing with titanium scales. I also don't want the weight to go up much more, which they do have weight relief on the titanium scales from OG Goat, but I believe, you know, it's going to increase the weight a little bit. And also, I honestly think this G10 looks really good. It's kind of gives it like just like a work knife, kind of industrialish kind of feel. You know, honestly, it feels good. I think it looks good. I got the bronze clip to match. And I just really like it. So I don't know. We'll see. I still might in the future, but they're expensive. I think they're almost like $200 for those scales, which makes sense. You know, they're big and textured and all that. But we'll see. If you really want one of these and just don't have the money or are missing out on drops, I would get one of these because this is such a good knife. I don't talk about it too much just because I've had it for a long time. And there's so many other knives that I've been carrying recently that I haven't carried this much. But this is such a good EDC knife. Just really incredible. So good. Really, really, really good. Even the G10 ones, man. They even have like S35VN ones now too, I think. I mean, there's a lot of versions now. I bought my first one back when it was only in either Oz 10 or D2. I bought it in D2. I absolutely love the thing. So yeah, if you want to experience one of these, just get one of these, man, and save up. Keep trying to get one of these because it's a lot less carryable. I definitely don't stick this in my pocket like on a regular weekend where I'm wearing my regular jeans, my blue jeans, not my work pants. It's just big. It's big. If I'm wearing my weekend blue jeans, I want something around this size in my pocket, not really necessarily this size. So that's about it. Those are my thoughts. I am so happy I finally have one. It's absolutely a grail for me, and I love it very much. That's it, folks. Please like the video before you head out. Put this down here real quick for a size comparison. And yeah, that's it. Like the video. I love you. Peace out.